This is episode 61 of the VR Gaming Podcast, your source for Nintendo Switch 2 news. I'm Justin, mame-fan on YouTube, and I'm here with Alex, Virtual Insider on YouTube. You ready to talk about Switch 2?
Oh yeah, I love Switch 2. It's so freaking good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you own a Switch? You own a Switch, don't you?
Yeah, I own a Switch. I have a Wii U, a Switch, and a 3DS. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a Nintendo fanboy.
Yeah, I started out as a kid as a Sega kid, and now that I'm old, I'm kind of a Nintendo fan.
So you actually, I know we're all messing around, but are you actually going to get a Switch 2 then? Is that...
Probably because of my kids, so then we can play Mario Kart World together.
Yeah.
So probably.
Cool. But you won't buy a PSVR 2?
No, I won't buy a PSVR 2. There's just not enough. There's just aren't enough games for me to care about at all. But Switch 2, there for a while there were rumors like maybe Nintendo's going to add VR. They're not. There's no talk of VR. And that Labo VR shit, I bought that back in like 2019. It was terrible. It's not going to work with Switch 2, they announced. So there will be no VR for the foreseeable future.
No, I didn't expect them to anyway.
Yeah. So enough about Switch 2. One thing I can talk about is I recently did an Apple Vision Pro demo. I did it with Casey over here. You can see the if you're watching on YouTube, you can see pictures of us wearing Apple Vision Pro. Can you see it, Alex?
And I was looking at the document. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So there was an Apple store nearby, and we were like, oh, maybe we could try the Apple Vision Pro, because she has a Quest 3. I have a Quest 3, obviously. And she was interested in trying it because at her work, some people at her work use the Apple Vision Pro for some sort of training crap, and she was curious about it. So we walked in there and asked, do you have Apple Vision Pros for demos? And they said, yeah, you just need to make an appointment. So we made an appointment, and it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, because there were people ahead of us. And so we went over there. She got a Apple Vision Pro, and then I got my own Apple Vision Pro. First, the lady that was doing the demo, we had to hold an iPhone up to our face to do a face scan. And so I asked her, are we getting our avatars in or something? And she said, no, this is for the light seal. I had never heard of this. Have you heard of it?
No.
So they use the iPhone to scan your face, and then the gasket conforms to the shape of your face, apparently. I had no idea there was anything like that. Yeah,
pretty sick.
That is pretty insane. But even though apparently it conforms to your face, well, I could still see glare. Like light was coming in and hitting my screen. So maybe it was because I was in a bright store. I don't know. But
yeah,
my light seal wasn't so sealed. But the very first thing I noticed when I put this thing on my face was, holy shit, this is fucking heavy. Like, I had heard it was heavy from the media, but like, whoa, this is uncomfortable. I can't believe they shipped this thing as a product. Looks
like it's got a different head strap on, because I thought the original head strap was like just like some sort of cloth thing, whereas that looks like it's got a top strap and
so the original one, and remember they called it a 3D weave on the back.
Yeah,
and then there was no top strap. So now there's two straps, if you can see in the picture, where there's a top strap and then this other strap around the back of your head. Even with the top strap, it felt like shit. It was the most uncomfortable headset I've ever worn. Maybe.
Oh.
There's also another one that was very uncomfortable for me was the Odyssey Plus. And the Quest 1 was really bad for me. But this might have been the worst ever. So that's my first impression. So the first thing I saw was the pass-through. Yeah, the pass-through definitely looks better than Quest 3's, because the screen's much higher res. The screen in this thing it's 3660 by 3200, which is 11 point. That's per eye, and it's 11.7 million pixels. Whereas our headset, or what I'm wearing right now, Quest 3, is 2064 by 2208, and that's 4.5 million per eye. So 4.5 million versus 11.7 million. That's a pretty big difference. So yeah, the pass through looked better. When I moved my head, I was hearing people talk about there's blur when you move your head. I could see blur when I was moving my head, but then that same night I tried my Quest 3 pass through and I moved my head and I was like, oh, I'm seeing motion blur with this too. So I would say the pass through is definitely better. Something that impressed me, I think, the most with this thing was that, you use your eye tracking to point at things on the screen. So you just move your eyes around and it kind of highlights stuff. Like if you're looking at like all the apps, you just look at the one you
Yeah.
want, and then you don't have to put your hand up in the air like you would with a Quest 3 and like do the pinch or whatever. You just have your hand in your lap, and you can just do a little pinch in your lap, and it picks it up. Which I thought that was the most
Yeah.
impressive thing. That it's able to look down into your lap. Like my hand was like almost underneath this table.
Must have some
So
sort of camera that will point straight down or something then.
yeah, and I mean they must be really good to get that amount of just that small movement. And so
Yeah.
Casey's was having technical difficulties with her headset. Like they actually had to take hers off and give her a new one. So while she was doing that, I was looking at like spatial photos and spatial videos, and I was like, all right. I mean, it's like it's all stuff I've seen before. I've probably just never seen anything this high res. It was videos of like family at their birthday party and people playing with a dog. And it's really just the standard 3D videos you've seen, just like higher res, higher quality. You know, you've seen before the environments that you can be in?
No. No, I don't think I have actually.
Okay, so you know how like Quest has environments and they look like shit and they're blurry?
Yeah.
Okay, so Apple's are super high res. I mean, I don't know if they're 8K. There might be higher. They're so high res that it pretty much it looks very close to like the real world. And so the one I was in initially was this beach environment, and there are palm trees, and the leaves are blowing. So it's not just a static environment. And in some of the environments, the water is moving. They look really good. When Casey first saw that beach environment, she like out loud went like, "Whoa!" She was that impressed by it. I think she said that was her favorite part of the whole demo was that beach environment. So I was moving windows around, and I was just messing around with the interface and stuff. And I asked the demo lady, "So do you have a game I can play?" And she said, "Oh yeah, I have a golf game you'll like." And then I was like, "Golf game? What the hell could that be?" And so then later on, she's like, "Oh, you ready for that game I told you about?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, it's called What the Golf." And I was like, "Oh no." It's like a sequel to What the Bat.
Oh, I
Upload
remember seeing
VR's
that.
game of the year. It's What the Golf.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember now.
So it was just like pulling back, sort of like Angry Birds, just pulling back on this I don't know, like a slingshot, and just the ball would go forward. And then at one point I was doing that to a golf club and the golf club went flying, just trying to be silly and funny. But then the finger tracking stopped working. And then she was like, "Well, maybe try closing the game out and then go back into it." And then I went back into the game, and again the finger tracking stopped working. So I don't know. It worked fine in my lap, but yet once I'm playing a game where I'm actually trying to grab something that I'm actually looking at, I just couldn't get the finger tracking to work anymore. So I don't know. Another weird thing was that while I was playing What the Golf, that Apple immersive environment, like the beach scene, was still around me. And I was like, so I said to her, "Is there a way I could just make my surrounding black so that I don't see this beach scene?" Because it was kind of like weird to be playing golf on top of this beach sand. And she said, no, there's no way to make it black. You can either do the environment or you can do like pass through. So you could turn the crown on the top and change it from the environment to pass through. So I changed it to pass through, and then I just see this dude's face who looks all pissed off. He was sitting there waiting for our demo to end so he could start his demo. And I think because of the technical difficulties of Casey's headset, that our demo time leaked into his demo time. Anyway, he got so pissed that he just walked out of the store. Anyway, so yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's weird. You can't have just like a fully immersive game. You have to have one of those environments or MR around it, which I thought was weird. So maybe that's why they don't use VR in their terminology. What do they just call it? Spatial computing or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want to label it as anything. They want to do their own kind of
Yeah.
marketing thing around it. It just sounds cool.
The next thing I did was they put us in like a cinema to watch the Super Mario movie, 2D. And I was just thinking, and as the weight of this headset was just like, pulling down on my face, I was thinking there's no fucking way I would want to watch a movie in this thing. Because it looks worse. It looks worse than like my 1080p TV. Because it's even though this headset is really high res, it's still not good enough, in my opinion. And that was a 2D movie. Then they put us in this Metallica thing, which is a 3D Metallica video of them on tour, just playing music. And supposedly that's 8K. I still wasn't impressed enough. I still felt like this still isn't good enough. Even though on Upload VR, they've really been talking about how awesome these Apple immersive videos are. It's definitely the best I've seen. But I still feel like I was looking at this going like, does this even look 1080p? Like I was feeling like I think my 1080 like a 1080p TV, which I still have 1080p TVs. I was like, I think I would rather watch this on that and it would look better, it would look sharper. A lot of times to me it just looked like maybe 720p. And still I was seeing like kind of those focus issues. You know how in 3D videos sometimes it's just like it seems out of focus or something?
Yeah, I think it's like an IPD problem because obviously when they
Yeah.
record the video, it has a fixed IPD, and if it doesn't match up with yours, then things are going to be a bit weird and not look right.
Yeah, how are they ever gonna fix that? They're just gonna have something recording from every possible IPD.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like because I've tried a bunch of 2D video stuff and like not 2D, like 3D video.
Mm-hmm.
Now it just never looks right to me. Everything kind of looks a little bit off. The scale looks a little bit off. It never look even like I've tried like 8K stuff, and even that still doesn't look like like photoreal. Doesn't look like you're actually there.
Yeah.
Realistic, 100%.
So when like people are up close to the camera, they looked really good. But anything a little bit farther away was like blurry and kind of out of focus. And they put us into this other thing called Experience Immersive, which was also 8K. And she said it was like I think she said it was like the most impressive video they had. And I felt the same way I did about the Metallica one. But yeah, there's one part where this woman is up really close to you. She looked really good. That was impressive. But the stuff that's farther away, it just wasn't good enough for me to want to. I mean, maybe if I had a really light headset, I would want to. With this thing on, no way. No chance. And I said to myself, if you have the Quest 3 and you have the Apple Vision Pro and they're the same price, I still want the Quest 3. I don't want the Apple Vision Pro for $500. No way. There's just like there's just not enough I can do with it. So
No,
and it's
I
just
don't really see any sort of use case for me where I want to get one. Like,
yeah.
I don't need one at all.
It's just too uncomfortable. They have to fix that. So that's all I think I have about that. Are you ready for games?
Yeah.
All right. So we both played this in VR, Crash Bandicoot 4 with the UEVR injector.
Yeah,
And I played it a while
looks
back and
great.
talked. Yeah, I played it a while back and talked about it. And I think I don't know. I think at the time I was like frustrated with it because it's pretty hard. And then for some
You
reason I
said
just
at the time you said you preferred Max Mustard over it. Like you were
yeah
playing this and Max Mustard at the same time, and you like
yeah
didn't seem to really like this game much.
yeah I beat it. It took me 10 hours, and you said you beat it too, right?
Yeah.
Even after beating it, I enjoyed Max Mustard more than this game.
See, I
But
didn't really like Max Mustard that much.
okay, I liked this enough to make it all the way through it. But I just found myself frustrated most of the time. Were you not? Are you just a badass?
I mean, I am a badass, yes, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a frustrating game. There are definitely times where it gets really hard, but I just like the variety of the levels and the gameplay mechanics and stuff. I just really think this is a good platformer. The level design is really good. It looks great. I just thought it's a great game. It looks really good in VR as well. Like everything looks, you can look around and there's no like broken shit. Everything looks pretty much perfect. It's just a really good game to play in VR. If you like, if you're not bothered about everything being first person, it's a really good way to play this game, in my opinion.
But be warned, it is a one-hit death game. Unless you can get a special protection item that'll give you an additional hit. But you are gonna,
You can get two
you're,
additional hits.
oh, you can get,
If
you
you
can
get
get,
two of those,
oh,
oh,
two of them.
yeah,
Okay.
if you get two of the Ugga Bugga, yeah, what do they call them? The
Yeah.
masks float around you. They're basically like an extra chance to not die.
Yeah.
But you've got checkpoints as well. So like if you as you go through the game, you get to a checkpoint. So then if you do die, you obviously go back to the checkpoint. You don't have to start right from the beginning.
But there were a lot of levels where I felt like there weren't enough checkpoints. But I did find that if you die repeatedly, they end up like being nice and giving you more checkpoints is what happens. Did you notice that? Or did you just not die enough?
Yeah. No, I think there were some times where like they would literally like give you. Sometimes they would start you with the masks as well, like rather than you not
Yeah.
having the mask, so that you give you just like
Yeah.
little things they do to try and give you a chance.
Yeah, and the TNT and the nitro boxes, they annoyed the hell out of me because if you do the spin move on them, you're just immediately dead. But the nitro boxes, if you just so much as touch one of them, you're dead. Or you'll take a hit, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll kill you a lot. And so this game, one interesting thing about it, it has these different. They're different from these masks that give you extra hits. There's these 4 special masks, and one turns you into basically like you're like a top where you spin really fast and you just keep spinning, and you can, I don't know if you can jump and then you get because there's a double jump in this game, but you're kind of invincible when you're the spinning top, and you can sometimes you just have to use the top to get past big gaps because it lets you kind of hover a little bit. Then there's a mask where
Yeah.
it turns the gravity upside down. So there are a lot of places where you're going to have to do like turn the gravity off, then turn the gravity on, then turn the gravity off, and like to get it through. There are some hard ass uh, platforming puzzles, I would call them, in this game. And then there's a mask where it slows down time. And the only way to get past this part is you have to slow down the time because maybe there's a million projectiles coming at you, and that's the only way to get past them. Then there's a mask. I have it called Switch. I can't remember even what that would be. Switch.
I can't
Uh,
remember it myself, to be honest. It's been a while since I've played it.
Top, gravity, time, and switch. I don't know.
It
I can't.
switched to like the dimension or something. I can't remember what it
Oh,
does.
oh yeah. Where it turns the items on and off. Like there could be crates in front of
Oh
you, and
yeah, that's it.
yeah, and there's some really hard parts where you have to do that. Where there'll be a
Yeah, you
stack
have
of
to like
crates.
there are crates that are invisible, so you'll have
Yeah,
to jump on a crate, switch in midair, jump on another crate, switch back, that sort of
yeah.
thing.
A lot of dying. And then the final level incorporates all 4 of those mask powers, and you have to use them all like together and back to back and shit. So it's really hard. And there are different characters you sometimes play as. There's Dingo Dial, which I sometimes call Dildo Dial, and then there's Neocortex, and there's Tana, and there's Coco. Coco is his sister, and you can switch. You can switch between Crash Bandicoot and Coco at any time. Dingo Dial, he had like a leaf blower or some shit, and you could hover with him when you played as him,
He was quite slow.
and he's
Yeah, he's
slow.
like a slow character.
Neocortex is a bad guy with his big head, and he can like he has a projectile, which I don't think anybody else had, and he has like a dash move. Tana, I feel like I only used Tana in one level, and she had like a kick and she had a grappling hook type of thing. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, well, because they had, I think from what I remember, you kind of like you do a level, but then you unlock like almost like an extra. It's the same level, but you get to play through it with a different character, so then the level changes and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't, a lot of that stuff is more optional. I think you could like skip it if you wanted to.
No, these were levels I had to do.
I think they introduced you to levels where like
Mm.
you have to do a certain amount of them, but there were a lot of them which were like side levels
Yeah,
where you
then
could do them.
yeah, they had additional side ones that I didn't bother. I didn't
Yeah,
do any of the side stuff. I just did the main.
yeah, me too.
Um, yeah, and I mean, I liked it, but man, if you're gonna go into this game trying to beat it, good luck. It's gonna be a struggle. I think. I was looking at my friends list, and anyone who played this game, they usually had a half an hour or an hour in it, and they probably just were like, "Oh shit, this is too fucking frustrating." But you made it.
I did it.
I
Yeah,
didn't think you liked platformers that much.
I don't like most platformers, but this I don't know. I do like the Crash Bandicoot games. I played through a lot of the Insane trilogy as well, which is like the first three games.
Uh
Uh, I didn't
this is the
finish all of those
this
though.
is the first one I've ever played. So maybe it would
Yeah,
have helped if I had experience with them.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Um I don't know anything about Crash Bandicoot.
No, I just think it's a great game if you don't mind playing around with UEVR. Like it's one of those that you can basically just plug and play. Like you can play, pretty much just hook it into the UEVR and just it works. So you don't have to mess around a lot with it. But it's just a really cool like platformer. It works well in UVR, and I definitely recommend. If you're into platformers, I highly recommend it personally.
I did increase the super sampling in the UEVR menu. So in my old
Yeah,
system, I couldn't go as high with the super sampling. With my new computer, I could go higher. So yeah, I don't think I would like it just at 1.0 super sampling. So I liked it at like I don't know 1.5 or somewhere around there. But if you start getting performance problems, of course, don't you probably want to lower it.
yeah,
All right. So we'll go to your first game, Metro Awakening. Did you beat it?
yeah. No, I
No.
didn't. Played some more. I'm like 6 hours into it now, so I've played quite a bit. Um, I just don't want to mention it because I do like this game. I think it's a good game, but I'm starting to see like obviously you've made some comments and complaints about the game, and now I'm
Hmm.
playing it more and more. I'm starting to feel what you're saying.
I don't even remember what my complaints are.
And one of the big one for me is just it just the environments really start to look the same after a while. Like they do a decent job early on in the game to kind of mix things up, but then 6 hours in, I feel like I'm walking down the same corridors over and over again. It's like a constant corridor looking. Everything looks the same. There's no in the non VR games. There's sections where you go outside and there are different monsters you have to fight. You haven't got any of that in the VR version, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it just basically just becomes very repetitive where you fight a few guys, you have a section with stealth, you have a section where you've got some story and people talking to you. There's a section where there might be some of the monster type creatures coming at you, and then it just repeats and the environments look the same. And I do like the game, but it's just kind of like even with me taking breaks and only playing like an hour at a time, I'm still finding myself getting a bit like, okay, this is really just the same thing over and over again. And I've also got to a part which I think you mentioned before, which is where like you keep going back to this same room. I think it's the room that you start the game in. It's like you're some sort of, I don't
Oh,
know
is it?
what's happening, but
It's
you,
a maze around the spiders. That part.
yeah. And there's
Ah,
like these
yeah,
spiders that are sensitive to light, and yeah, that was kind of getting annoying. And I stopped. That's literally where I've stopped. So that's where I got to.
yeah. I was really yeah because you. I think you have to listen to. Is it like there's like a voice, a little kid's voice or something?
No, I didn't play enough of it to really figure out what you needed to do, but I'm happy
Oh,
for you to tell me because it'll save me
okay.
a lot of.
Something like there's some sound that you have to listen to, and it's really hard to tell. Even if you know that, it's hard to tell where it's coming from and where you need to go.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
I think I just
Well,
accidentally got through it. Is really
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just gonna. I mean, ultimately, I'm just going to probably put it on the back burner for a little bit longer. I will finish it one day. I'm sure. I'm just like finding that I'm having to really take breaks, and I can't just push through it because I'm finding I'm just not enjoying the game as much if I do that. So, I've got plenty of other things to play. Um, but yeah, I'll just come back to it whenever I feel like it because everything else is good. Like the gunplay is good. Visually, it does look good, even though obviously the environments do look very repetitive and it's very dark most of the time.
Yeah.
I think it's a good game. I just think overall, you can kind of tell that obviously they've only had a certain budget for the game, and they've basically just taken the same few elements and just recycled them over and over again
Hmm.
uh, to make it a longer game.
Did
Which
you get tired of the
it's
flashlight or not?
no, that side of things. I like the immersion of it, like
Hmm.
having to pump the flashlight and all that sort of stuff. The other thing that really annoys me is that I always seem to be picking up the wrong thing. Like I'll be like, for example, you've got this thing you can see it on the video if you're watching it on YouTube where you have to like pull out your charger and then you have to like grab hold of the handle to twist it. I'll grab the charger and then I'll go to grab the handle and I'll accidentally grab my healing syringe like by
Hmm.
accident, and I have to make sure that my hands like out in front of me to stop that from happening. So every time I go to grab the charger, I'll accidentally grab the syringe two times, and then I'll finally, oh, all right, I've got to hold my hand out to make sure that I don't accidentally grab the syringe. So I don't know why they didn't just make it so that if you're holding the charger, the only thing you can do is pump the handle and grab the parts on the charger
Hmm.
so that you don't accidentally end up grabbing the wrong thing because it's really frustrating when you constantly end up grabbing the wrong thing
Were you
while
playing
trying
it
to play the
on
game.
PC or PSVR two? Forgot.
On PC,
PC. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Uh, I'm curious. Actually, like, if you beat this game, I'd be curious what you think of the ending and all of that.
Yeah, I'll come back to it. It might even take me weeks or months before I come back to it because I've got so many other good games like Alien and Rogue Incursion and Behemoth and
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4, Batman. So many good games that I still haven't finished yet that I'd rather just move this one to one side
Mm-hmm.
and just like come back to it when I feel like playing it.
Have you
Oh, and I
done
do the
this?
thing like you said
The
about the when you ride in these cart things like in the
Yeah.
video. Yeah, it's weird because you don't really do much for a while, and then you do end up on them a lot. So
Yeah. Yeah. You'll get tired of that.
in the non VR version, there are sections where you're on these cart things, but you actually control the cart. So like you're moving it forwards and backwards, you're getting off it, you like go into little side rooms to get extra ammo, and then you're getting back on it, and then you're going forwards, and you like. I'm surprised they didn't have sections like that where you're actually controlling the car and you
Hmm.
have to go down these rails and then you have to get off the car and then you have to like clear blockages and like
Hmm.
there's a lot of things that I feel like they didn't. There's a lot of things they could have done taken it from the non-VR games
Hmm.
and put them into VR, that would have worked really well, but they didn't. And I can only assume that's just down to a budget problem, whether they just had to keep it restricted to what they've got in the game right now. Um, it does unfortunately mean that it lacks variety because the non VR games are great. Like they have really well paced. They've got a good amount of variety. They've got, like I said before, they've got outdoor environments. They've got part sections where you're having to get off, clear blockages, go into little side rooms. Um, Unfortunately, they've not got a lot of that stuff in the VR version.
Hmm. All right. I'll go to the next one. Pinball FX UEVR. This is somebody else's video, not mine. So there was a sale on Steam where I could buy a bunch of these Williams, like real tables. So I bought, I don't know, like I might have bought like 30 of them. And on screen right now is Indiana Jones Williams table. And I was using my Quest 3 controllers to play, and I was like, all right, this is just too much lag. So there's too much lag in the flippers for me to like be able to play really well. Like I was having to push the button well before I would need to in real life to be able to play,
What's
and it
causing
just
the lag?
I was using Quest 3 controllers. That's my own, because well, here's what I did. I switched to a wired Xbox One controller, and then the lag wasn't an issue anymore.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, I don't know if it's just wireless. But see,
Maybe.
here's but just last night, just yesterday, April 3rd, the Pinball FX for Quest came out, and that's using the Quest controllers, and there was no noticeable lag. So I don't know if it's because of Windows and all of that overhead, in addition to the wireless controllers that causes the lag. I don't know. And I don't know if you're using a wireless Xbox One controller, if there's like any additional lag that would make it noticeable. But so I played Medieval Madness, Monster Bash. So I used to own Medieval Madness and Monster Bash and Champion Pub. So those were the three that I'm most familiar with. So I wanted to compare them. And Champion Pub, that's like a boxing themed pinball machine. That's the one I'm kind of the most familiar with. And I was noticing, this isn't playing like my machine used to. Because of my divorce, I had to sell all that because I needed money, and I don't have space in my current house for all that shit. So I don't have any pinball machines anymore. And I was kind of getting sad playing Champion Pub, missing that pinball machine. But yeah, it wasn't playing quite like what I remember, and there were certain shots that I used to be able to get easily that I just couldn't get in this Pinball FX UEVR version. So
Yeah.
also ones I played like the Getaway and World Cup Soccer and these other ones. And it was I didn't regret the purchase. It was pretty good, but like it didn't look quite good enough. It didn't look quite sharp enough. I think maybe TAA was on. And there are some settings I can mess with DLS and some other shit that I didn't get a chance to mess with all that much. I need to go back in and try it again. Oh,
Yeah.
one issue I had was I couldn't see a way to adjust my height or like my angle that was satisfactory to me. There are these preset camera views, and like and that was all I could do, and like none of them felt right to me as far as like where I would be standing in real life. So that was one issue. It could be that I just missed a way to do that. So I'll go to the Pinball FX Quest. This is a video I took yesterday. So this is me walking around. So they have their this is $9.99 and it comes with 3 of their original Zen Studios pinball machines, but I didn't care about that. You can also buy some others. Like so here are, remakes of real pinball machines, and there's only 5 right now. There's Adam's Family, there's Twilight Zone, there's World Cup Soccer, and Indiana Jones, and am I missing one? I might be missing one. And you can play all of these 5 Williams machines. You can play them for 3 minutes for free, and but you can do it. It seems like you can do it as many times as you want. So that's cool. Because a lot of people, like even in this video, my games didn't even last 3 minutes. That's how poorly I played. Yeah, one thing that's tough with these types of things is it's kind of hard to nudge the table like you would in real life. Like if the ball's going straight down the middle, I'm gonna move the whole damn machine to the left or the right. But and you can so in this game you have your left and your right hand. You can see it's cut off in this video, but your hands are actually on. You can see it now. It's actually on the left and the right of the apron
Yeah.
of the machine. And if you take your hand up and then you hit the side of the machine, it'll actually nudge the machine. And you can nudge with the left analog stick. But I found it hard. My brain, I couldn't do it fast enough. Whereas in real life, I can do it fast enough because all I have to do is just pull on the machine really fast.
Yeah.
And I tilted it there. I tilted it when I was just testing out nudging of the machine. And so on the side, there's little characters and graphics going on. There's but you can turn that stuff off if you don't like that. So like on Twilight Zone, when you start that up, is that the one where there's a robot? I think there's going to be a robot. Yeah, to the left, there's this robot. And when the ball drains, the robot, does like, and it gets like electrocuted or something. So yeah, here I am playing Twilight Zone. It all looks really good. Oh, and I used Quest Games Optimizer and I put GPU up to ultra and the super sampling up to 150%. That might have hurt performance a little bit, it might have. So I don't know. I'd have to experiment with that. But it was $9.99, and you can still play these Williams machines for 3 minutes for free. But the problem is, if you want to buy them, that's the only way you can do the leaderboards and get like achievements, because there's all sorts of achievements and stuff, and there's even some sort of campaign that you can do, where I guess there's all these goals. But each of these machines is $9.99, and Indiana Jones is $14.99, which is insane to me.
Each.
Yeah, each. It's
Wow.
insane. Yeah, that's insane.
That's a lot.
Whereas on PC, it was like this big sale, and I could buy a bunch of machines. Like I could pay $9.99, and I don't know, maybe I got 6 machines or more. So
What would the normal price be out of the sale? Is it the same or is it cheaper still?
it's cheaper still, even the normal price, because on there they have them bundled, and in the bundle it's cheaper. Whereas here they're all just individual. There's no like bundle.
You've really got to be into pinball to pay that amount for
Yeah,
each
you
table.
really do. Yeah, Indiana Jones on Steam, that might be $14.99, because I know I was like, fuck, I'm not buying that. It might have been the same price. That's like a
Right.
really popular pinball machine, and that's my only guess as to why. Or maybe that license is just so expensive to have Indiana Jones license. I don't know.
Maybe.
So then the next one, yeah, Indiana Jones. Oh, Star Trek. Star Trek: The Next Generation. That was the other one I forgot about. And I think it's worth $9.99. I think it's cool. Oh, and you can do MR too. I tried MR, and just like Lego Brick Tales, the MR version was more aliased. It was lower res. I didn't
Yeah.
try it with Quest Games Optimizer though. I only did it just standard. So every game I try it. Let me just play this the standard way without Quest Games Optimizer, and
Yeah.
then after that I'll try Quest Games Optimizer. So yeah, I mean I'll play it more, but I think I'm gonna have to wait for a sale on that on buying these full tables.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it. There's a cassette. There's like a cassette player at the front where you can put different tapes in, and there's like a prize wheel where you spin the wheel and you get prizes, but you have to earn tickets to spin the wheel. Maybe if you do well enough on a machine, you earn a ticket. and like some of that's where you can win new tapes to put into the cassette player, and there's stuff like that. You can decorate if you wanted to decorate the shelves. You can decide what little item you want to put there. Not that that's ever anything that I get into. Okay,
You know.
so we'll go to your next game, which is Action Hero.
Yeah, I jumped back into this, which, if you don't know what it is, it's basically Super Hot VR, but in my opinion, better. Like it's just visually better. Everything's better. The only thing I'll say about this is because I tried it because the problem I've got is that I'm currently most of my VR time is spent in a small office, and when I say small, it's like really not very big at all. And this game is like a room scale only game, and
Yeah,
there are sections in the game where you really have to move like a lot.
yeah,
Um, there's a section which I literally played like through a full chapter, and then I got to a one where we're in an elevator and these dinosaurs coming through, but they like come. The elevator opens in different directions, and the dinosaurs literally run through the elevator. And the only way to avoid them, because you've got no weapons, is to literally like move your entire body
yeah.
out of the way. And I just didn't have the space. I literally could not. I just kept walking into my wall basically to try and avoid them. I'd die. So I'm gonna have to wait until like maybe some people that no one's around, and I can just do the headset in a different room or something. Play through the rest of it. But it's a really good game. It's just be aware that you do need a reasonable amount of space to play through this game because they definitely have sections where you have to move, like not just like duck. You have to physically move your entire body, like step backwards, forwards, sideways in your play space. And obviously, if you haven't got much room, you just literally won't be able to play the game because it's impossible to get past it.
And my room's
Other than that,
pretty
it's great.
Yeah, my room's pretty big, and I still was up against the walls in this to get
Yeah.
through this game. Um, one big issue, the one issue I have with this game is that once you beat like one level, it just goes on to the next level like really fast, and it resets your center position based on where you're standing at the time,
Yes.
and
Yes, it does
that
do that.
totally
That's
fucks
right.
you up. So a lot of
Yeah.
times I would be over like near my wall, and then it resets it as if that's the center, and I'm like, well, shit, now I can't. I definitely can't play this next level.
Yeah. That
So
is the
then,
problem. I
yeah,
don't. It don't use like play space. It don't use like your place center of your actual play space. It just centers wherever you are in the room when the level loads. And I've had
yeah,
that same thing where I'm already against the wall,
yeah,
like because I had to move away from a previous level. So now I'm starting the level already like up against my environment, and I
yeah,
can't move. So that's definitely they need like a recenter button or just use your play space rather than
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. And in Super Hot, when you beat a level, what I remember, but it's been so long, is didn't you have to go to the center and squeeze like a triangle or something?
Yeah, they've like the pyramids that you had to smash or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like that's how they handled it.
Yeah, it
Um,
definitely needs something to make sure that you're always in the center of your play space.
Definitely.
Um, and the other thing as well is that this game's hard. Like,
Yes, it's hard.
you are gonna die a lot, which is part of the game. But sometimes I'd like get through several little scenes, and I'd die, and I'm like, wow, really? I've not hit a checkpoint yet because it feel like you've really gone like 5, 6 scenes, and you think, okay, I must have hit a checkpoint, and like then you die, and you're literally like starting right from the beginning again. So that is another thing. Like the checkpoints can feel really brutal sometimes in this game.
And I saw a story that they added like two new levels to this game. So then I went back into it, but I don't see the new levels. Did you see new content added? I didn't see how to get to it.
Yeah,
You do?
it was on the right hand side, like the darkness or something. It's like some sort of different. There was only three, I think, or was it 3 or 4 originally? I can't remember. But yeah, they've added a new, it's like a new thing,
Okay.
which I've not tried yet because I'm still playing through the uh, main game. But it's really fun. Like I can highly recommend this game. I just yeah, like I said, the only things that like the things that you mentioned about this play space, the it can feel really unforgiving, like in terms of checkpoints, and if you haven't got enough room, you're going to struggle. They're the main negatives, but other than that, it's great.
Well, one other thing was I had to use Quest Games Optimizer because I just thought it was way too aliased at first. So
Yeah, yeah, I've used that as well. It looks great
yeah,
with 150% super sampling. It looks really good.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Next one is the Burst. This is on sale for like $6 on Steam. So I was like, all right, that's enough. This is the trailer. Um, I played the demo and I liked the demo, but then when it came out, I don't know, it wasn't getting very good reviews, and then I don't know if it was $20 or more, and I was just like, nah. But it's six, they got me. I've played it in two different sessions now, and kind of feel like I'm sometimes having issues with the controls,
Yeah,
and like it's
agree.
okay. It's just nothing. I mean, it's worth $6, I guess. It's kind of a budget Borderlands.
Yeah,
Um, you one
got a lot of
issue I used to
parkour and
yeah
stuff.
one issue I used to have, but you like this, is that to jump before you had to raise your arms up in the air, and you like that type of thing, I
Yeah,
think.
I like that.
But you can
Yeah,
change it now to a jump button, so I just switched it to a jump button. Um, I like the bike a lot, but there's most of the game you're on foot and you're just shooting at enemies with really bad AI. And I know you
yeah.
were talking to the developer about that, and I don't know if they ever did. I guess they never did anything about it.
I play tested before it was the demo ever came out.
Yeah.
Play tested the demo, and the AI was completely broken when I tried it. It's not broken like it was when I tried it,
Oh,
but
okay.
the AI is still not great. Like this really slow to reaction times. It, I think like what I enjoy about this game is like the traversal's fun. Like
Mm-hmm.
you've got this grappling hook and you can swing and you jump in and you run wall running. But I find that it kind of falls apart when you actually get into combat because controls feel clunky. Like trying to reload, I feel like I'm fumbling around to reload sometimes, and then like the enemy AI isn't great. So it kind of like moving around and playing the game and the overall vibe of the game's good. I just think that the controls and the AI kind of need more work. And I think they've patched it, but I don't know if they've done anything. Like clearly not, because you played the latest version, so they've clearly not fixed a lot of the problems.
Yeah, and they they put out some posts where like the company went under, and like they're not.
Did they?
They're yeah, oh yeah. That they were like, yeah, we're done. And
Wow. Okay.
they said something like a couple of us will continue to work on the game, but we can't promise anything. Yeah.
Wow, I
Let me
didn't know that. That's sad.
yeah. Let me see. I'll go look on Steam. I'll go to like the store page and see if I can see when that was posted. That was
Was this
December.
released
Yeah,
on
December.
Steam or was it released on Quest as well and stuff? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was on Quest also. So yeah, December
Yeah.
14th, 2024. Today we have some grave news. We are disbanding the studio. And then there's, if you want to read, I'm not going to read all of this. Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I didn't know that
it
was.
says TLDR, we tried to make our dream come true, but alas, fucked up. We are grateful to all those who
Okay.
support us on this journey, our families, friends, and of course you, our lovely community. Blah blah blah. Yeah, the studio is called Go Rapid.
Yeah, they've only got 3.8 stars on Quest, and there's only 58 reviews, so it didn't
Yeah.
sell well on Quest either.
It says those founding fathers, enthusiasts who created the studio 2 years ago, will keep on maintaining the burst and improving it. However, as you might have expected, it will take more time and effort, leaving us unable to set any deadlines. So, there you go.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just I think the problem with this game when it came out, there was a load of other stuff. I seem to remember like me just like missing it because there were so many other things to play.
Yeah.
Um, I actually really enjoyed the demo, and I bought the full game. I think I bought the full game full price, to be honest with you, or with a little bit of discount.
Oh, okay.
Then just never got around to playing it really, like because there were just so many other things to play.
You know why I got
You
around to
think you'll
playing
finish
it?
this?
Y-
Oh,
I'm
well,
sure you know
nothing now.
why. I'm sure, yeah, 'cause nothing to play right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on that?
No, no. That's
Okay.
sad that they closed down though. I didn't know that.
So Stilt was on sale for $1.99 on Quest and Steam, and I saw that you played it too.
Yep, I don't like it.
And I don't either.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
No,
it starts out you're
it's
on this
just like
spaceship, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Even from the beginning, I was like, "What in the fuck is this?" Was that your impression in this little
I didn't know
spaceship?
what's happening. I was in the spaceship looking around, like thinking, am I supposed to press any buttons? Am I supposed to do something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just like I think the main problem for me is just the controls. Like, I really didn't enjoy. I think these are really like the actual bouncing around on the stilts is cool, but having to bounce everywhere all the time is just
Yeah.
like really annoying. Like
Like, yeah.
if I just want to walk somewhere, I've got to like
Yeah. You,
awkwardly like bounce my way over to where I need to go.
you have
It's
to go
annoying.
up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, I don't get motion sickness, but this is just annoying to me for my view to constantly be up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It needs a way to, yeah, to just, let me just like move, just slide forward somehow without this
yeah.
constant up and down shit.
If you could just like slide forward and then there's like sections where you need to like obstacle course your way through, it's with the stilts. That would be fine, but like the can't like if I'm just like on a flat surface and I've got to get from just a straight point on land, I've got to do that by just bouncing around. It's just like, oh my god, why would I? That's just terrible.
and,
No.
and I bought this because I heard some positive reviews of it on some podcasts I won't mention, and
Oh,
uh
oh dear.
you may know some of them, and no, no, this
For
is
me.
not for me. Um, yeah. Uh, what else is there to say? Yeah, I mean, you have to just constantly jump up and down. It's kind of like Out of Hand, which I talked about previously. But Out of Hand, I liked a
Yeah.
lot more than this game.
Yeah, I feel like for the games where you're like grabbing in the world and kind of like pulling your way, like Gorilla Tag style, I feel like there you have way more control and they're more fun to like move around.
Hmm.
This was just like really awkward. I mean, I got better at it, but it just and sometimes it was fun, like having to like bounce yourself up and then over the obstacles was fun. But it was just that
Yeah,
the way that you can't like just move, you can't even just like walk with your hands. Like if you could just walk forward with your hands, maybe or something, just some
yeah,
way for me to just like walk forward without having to like awkwardly bounce around
yeah.
would massively improve the game.
It would be fun, yeah, to just watch a video of you trying to play this.
It, it would be just me just getting annoyed with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it would be fun. So, I don't know. Nothing else to say about Stilt.
No, it was on a really good sale, so I think even if you are on the fence about it, like I don't know if it's still on the sale, but I put it was like
Yeah,
£1 or
dollar
something. I can't remember. It was
dollar
really
99
really
on
cheap.
on Quest and Steam. $1.09. Yeah, I bought it on Quest first, then afterwards it went to 199 on Steam. I was like, shit. Not it doesn't matter though because I don't want to play this. I played it for 15 minutes and said nope, and then I uninstalled.
Yeah, me
Not gonna
too.
do. Yeah. All right, next one is Barbaria. Have you heard of this one?
This one you talked about before. It's like a Gorn type thing.
I haven't talked about this. I mean, I haven't ever played it before until now.
Really?
Yeah, I've never played it.
Oh, did you not?
No.
We definitely talked about this. Maybe it was an upcoming game that you talked about it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You talked
And,
about it, man.
and you know the guy that started this podcast, Nick Lane? He has like
Yeah.
7.5 hours in this game, and he put up a positive review of it. So I was like, oh, let me try this. It has very positive
Okay.
reviews on Steam. and I don't like it.
Right.
I don't like it at all.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was playing it for 45 minutes and I was still in the tutorial. So you need to be patient.
What the hell are
It's
they
like,
teaching you? I mean, you don't just walk through and bash things.
no, it's not just an action game. It's also like strategy, and so you have to set up like little. You have to set up a dungeon. You have like an overhead view, and you're setting up a dungeon and connecting like pieces to it. Like maybe one piece has a little enemy spawner, and then now this piece has like a door to walk through, and then this piece. So it's very confusing, but like you go into other people's levels, like what you're seeing right now is this overhead view. You go into other people's levels and fight, and they try to make their level difficult, and then you can set up your own for other people to come in and base. I don't know if they take gold from you, but you see this that little flying demon with the sign.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the tutorial is. I had to I had to deal with that flying demon with the sign and read that for at least 45 minutes of all of that. And then he's teaching you like how to play the game. It's kind of like Gorn but with levels, but I would much rather play Gorn. Like the combat in this
Yeah.
game is a lot worse than Gorn. I don't like the combat at all. The UI is confusing. I really don't understand the game. Like this part is easy to understand. All right, just go around and swing your axe and kill these guys. It it's not fun though. It's just maybe once you get farther in the game, you start fighting harder enemies and it gets more interesting. But it just couldn't keep my interest. I was still going through the tutorial and I got to a castle. And then in the castle, I had to take out these cannons. I took out the cannons, and then I walked around, and there was nowhere for me to go. There's nothing to do. I think the game bugged out. Like I think something was supposed to happen, but I couldn't get out of the castle, and I saw no way to progress. And I just said, "All right, I give up." And then I requested a refund. It also had performance problems, so I was seeing some like reprojection pretty often. And
Right.
if you maybe if you like tabletop strategy game type of things, maybe you would be into this. I know Nick Lane said he liked something called Dungeon Master. I've never played that, but maybe that's a real time strategy type of game. I've never been into those types of games, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. You have any questions?
Oh, really?
Okay.
It doesn't look like something I'd want to play anyway, to be honest. So.
It has really good reviews, and it's on Quest also. It's on PC and Quest. I don't know about. It might be on. I think actually it is on PSVR too. So like here is a tougher enemy to deal with. I never had to fight. Well, maybe I did. I think I did have to actually fight one of these guys maybe one time, and it might have killed me. But um, I don't know. I just didn't get it. But maybe I didn't give it enough time. It
Maybe,
was on.
but
It
you've
was on
already
sale.
refunded it now.
Yeah, it was on
Yeah.
sale at the time. I don't remember what I paid. Maybe $14.99. I don't know. All right. So did you have another game you played?
Uh, that, no, I didn't.
No. Okay. So we're gonna go to Spatial Ops. This is a Quest 3 exclusive, and I got this to play with Casey because she has a Quest 3 also. So
Okay.
I was over at her place, and I was like, all right, well, let me just do like a room scan of your place, and then this game will probably just build. It'll just like make the level for us. And I did a room scan, and then I went in the game, and it was like, you have to manually create everything. So that's how this actually works. It's not like let me show you this video. You might remember this video from VR 365 with Anthony. There was in 2019 there was this video. where Qualcomm was advertising their Snapdragon XR2, where this kid runs up the stairs and it's like it's like doing a on the fly
Right.
game. It says automatic room mapping.
Yeah.
And I remember like I think Anthony might have bought into it because he bought into a lot of stuff back then, like Magic Leap. You remember all those days, the Magic Leap days with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm showing this to show the false promises and the marketing hype. Like this girl is dancing with all her holographic friends, and this person has a holographic person instructing him how to cook, and none of this shit happened. None of this is. I mean, maybe in 10 years, I don't know. None of this shit. I mean, when are we gonna have a headset where you can just like walk through somewhere you've never been and it's on the fly creating, you know, uh, an alien world based on what it's detecting as you walk through the area. Are we gonna have that in 10 years?
I don't know. I feel like 10 years ago we were saying that we were going to get all this stuff in 10 years.
It's always 10 years away, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, in Spatial Ops, so you have to manually set all this shit up. So you have to say, all right, here is a wall, and then you have to drag. This is where a wall is, and then you're gonna say like, well, here's where I'm gonna put a crate. Here's where I'm gonna put a shield. Here's where the weapon spawn's gonna be. I was under the delusion that it could just be like, all right, I'll set up this level for you based on everything that I see. But nope. I guess the Quest 3 is too stupid. So we went through and I manually built it. And then there's a multiplayer arena beta. So then she and I were just kind of running around her place. And at first we were fighting each other. And then I think she realized, hey, we can put bots in here. So we added some bots and we were fighting the bots. Let me see. So this guy is, just this is a long, boring video of watching this guy set up the walls for his arena. He set up the spawn zone. All your furniture, you can draw all that too. This must be a Christmas. Maybe he was playing this around Christmas. Oh yeah, there's a Christmas tree because you can see that wall has Christmas lights on it. What's your opinion on games when they add like a Halloween theme or a Christmas theme?
Most of the time it just feels like really. I'm not really that interested.
Yeah.
I think if they add something that's like an extra little game mode or something, maybe that could be more interesting.
Yeah.
But generally, I don't really care that much, to be honest.
If they force that on me, I'm annoyed. If it's just optional, fine. But if it's where like it's Christmas, so I have to make Christmas presents and put Christmas lights out. No. All right. So where's the part where okay, now he's playing. So you can hide, like, see, he's in his kitchen and he's hiding behind this shield and shooting the bots. And it's cool, but it gets boring really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you that.
yeah. Yeah. So this is how the multiplayer beta is. I think Casey was more into it than I was because I was like, all right, let's do something else. There just wasn't much to it. It's just like who got the most kills, after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But there's also a campaign that you can do, and that's the campaign. You don't have to set up any boundaries or walls or spawn zones or any of that shit. So let me go to what the campaign's like. The campaign, it's like a rail shooter, and I guess there's a little story. So it's like, so you're in a room and you're probably surrounded by 4 walls and a ceiling. And it moves kind of like you're in a box, and portals open on each wall. So like, sometimes there will be a portal that opens on the wall in front of you, and then a portal will open also at the same time on the wall behind you. So you're gonna have to fight enemies on both sides. And then once you've killed enough enemies, the it's kind of like the box you're in just starts moving. It's like it's on rails. Oh, and also the ceiling will open up. A portal will open the ceiling, and maybe flying drones will come in that way. So I did one level and beat it, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if it's if I'm not interested to go back. So
I mean, what I don't understand is what I'm looking at now. What's the benefit of running this in mixed reality? Like, what?
yeah, it's a circular portal, so you'll see your walls around it. And I personally don't see any benefit. You could just be playing this in VR.
Yeah,
Maybe you know how it's moving you on this rail. Like you don't have any
right.
control over your locomotion. Maybe seeing your environment helps prevent motion sickness. Whereas if
Yeah,
someone
and I
was
guess
in,
you can move around your
yeah,
environment as you can see it. So I guess that makes it easier for you to just like duck behind cover rather than. I mean, I can kind of
yeah,
see it, but it's it's barely doing much with mixed reality.
yeah,
The look of it.
yeah. So yeah, that multiplayer thing is doing way more with mixed reality. The problem is there just isn't much there.
Yeah,
It's just a death match. But they do call it a beta, so maybe they're gonna keep adding to it. I don't know. So that's it for that was on sale. So that's why. Yeah, there was this Quest sale, and also on sale was the Climb too. So I liked the Climb, and I know you did too, right?
yeah, I love the climb.
Yeah. So the Climb 2, it was a good deal. It's the same gameplay as the original Climb, but obviously it has worse graphics, simpler polygons. I do feel like they added a lot more animals. Like you just saw, I think in the video, if you're watching on YouTube, there was a rattlesnake that attacked him, and I think it made him fall. This is Alex Honnold, the famous free climber, free solo climber who climbs without ropes, and he's insane. But they put him in the Climb too. Let's see. We'll just get into the gameplay. It's the same thing. You chalk your hands with grip. Oh, and you climb with the triggers, but you can go into the settings and reverse it if you prefer to grip to climb and do trigger for your chalk. And it's the same
Yeah,
thing. There's some places where you have to do jumps. There's a city level where I actually felt like I was like, wow, this is actually making me feel like a little bit of fear. Like this this rock, this like part, like I guess it just doesn't look real at all to me. And so I had zero fear, but something about the city level like made me feel a little bit weird. Let me see if I can get him to the city. Yeah, he's in the city now. I don't know. Something about it. Something about it slightly freaked me out. Not so much that I wouldn't be willing to do it or that I'd be scared to fall. It's just like
yeah,
it felt more real. Not that the graphics look real because they don't. They look more like what's that? What's that game where it's like a parkour game and you're a girl? Oh, something. No, Mirror's Edge. It's kind of like Mirror's Edge graphics.
yeah.
And I think I used. Did I use Quest Games Optimizer? I don't remember.
You must have done because it looks like shit without it. So
What did you play it?
I, I played this when I first got the Quest
Uh huh.
2, I think. I bought a lot of the exclusives, and
Oh, okay.
this was one of them because I really liked the first game.
Yeah.
And it just looked so bad. I thought like, you could really. I mean, if it was on the Quest 2, so it's probably different, but I could really see like the foveated, fixed foveated rendering.
Oh,
Just looking
I
out
didn't
over the
see any of
city.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It just looks. It just didn't look great, and that the texture resolution was really low, and yeah, I just didn't. Part of the appeal for me with the climb is just visually how great it looks and like wildlife and just the attention to detail. I think the actual gameplay loop itself is okay, but it was more like the immersion of being in the levels and seeing what's around the next corner that really kept me going in that game. So when you take that away and it just kind of like looks a bit shitty,
Yeah.
then it just wasn't really something I want to play.
Did you try the city level? And did you feel anything like any slight scarier, or did that not work on you at
No,
all? No.
no, not really.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll play it if I have my Quest 3 somewhere and I don't have access to a PC or something, but I don't know. Or
Yeah.
maybe for a demo for somebody if like I'm not near a PC. I don't know. Okay. Walkabout Mount Olympus. We played this with Casey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you guys well I think you're the only one that like, so Casey and I, we sort of have something going on, and I was like, yeah, you guys can say whatever you want, don't worry about it. And this is the first time Casey's ever talked to them, so I was a little bit nervous. But what was it you said? You said to her, have you ever wanted to spend the night? I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, oh shit. I don't remember what she said.
I mean, I think you basically just
Yeah.
straight up said that's not going to happen.
I was like,
You
yeah,
said that multiple times. I think. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Something along those lines. Yeah. So
yeah. It's
it's
like, nah,
fun.
I need to get back home to take care of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played Mount Olympus and we found balls. And I don't even remember Mount Olympus much. We did the hard course.
I thought it was a great looking level. Like one of the best looking. It's quite an open area and quite large. So you like climb. You're almost like climbing up. You are kind of climbing up, gradually going up higher and higher. The top, and you're up in the clouds. Like each one's got something to do with a different god. The coasters themselves, I thought they were pretty decent. It's one of the better ones that we've had. I feel I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Yeah. And then I did a bunch of hard courses with Casey. I did it hard with Casey, and
Yeah, obviously.
yeah, and we got a bunch of those clubs. Like a lot of the clubs I haven't gotten because most of the courses I haven't even done the hard course. So we got some of those, and she likes doing that. And I'll
Yeah,
probably unlock more. She doesn't have a PC, so she's doing it on Quest while I play on PC. I do own the
yeah,
game on Quest, but I don't really feel like starting all over on unlocking shit on the Quest.
yeah. That's the problem. You'd have to start literally from scratch. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, a lot.
I feel like they're pretty close to due to release another course. I don't know if anything's been announced.
I feel like they make one every month.
It
So
seems like it.
it's yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we're just gonna buy every one they release because it's just a fun social game. So it's just
yeah,
really fun to just get together, play a bit of golf, just chat shit, and yeah, I enjoy this game a lot.
yeah.
My
Next time we play
favorites.
with Casey, you'll ask. So Casey, where do you see this going with Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone a lot heavier
Yeah,
on when we
yeah,
were
yeah.
talking,
You
but
didn't.
I was
Yeah, you were well behaved. Yeah,
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 I wasn't too bad.
yeah. All right. Then I did 3 games. I did 3 videos of 3D Send VR. I played Ninja Gaiden 3 and Mario 3 and Shatterhand and Dr. Mario. This is just Ninja Gaiden 3. So this is just to show what it looks like in the in the headset. You're playing a 3D NES game where it was either the developer or maybe somebody else made this profile where they had to pull these graphics out manually for every level to make all these different structures have different depth to them, so that like the background, the greenish looking area would have a different depth than that orange area, and then that foregroundish looking area would be more forward. So it looks pretty cool. A lot of times, yeah, the characters, they're just still flat cardboard cutouts, I think, because they'd look too weird if they made them like some of them though. I think the one I just killed was like more 3D looking, But maybe when they're people, human looking ones, maybe it just looks too weird. I don't know. So this is on Steam. It's on itch.io. I recommend it. There's a ton of games. Oh, but this part it started shaking, and I asked the developer about it, and he was like, "Yeah, in this game, there's certain parts where it starts shaking, and it's just like some sort of emulation bug." I'll go past it. Um, so I guess that's it for that.
Yeah.
And I did Earthquest because this was on sale too. I wanted to see how this compared to Google Earth VR, and it compares really well. I was really surprised. So I compared. So I did Earthquest and went to specific places. Then I went to Google Earth VR on PC, and they pretty much look the same.
Yeah.
And I'll show you examples. The only different, like, so on Earthquest stuff, like the pop in is more noticeable, and it takes longer for stuff to load. But it was impressive, and Earthquest has a lot more settings, like where you can change. You can change like how like the draw distance and how much detail will load in and tons of other settings. So here, like that's my house. My house.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is that where you live?
yeah. I live in a fucking
Nice.
pile of dirt. Okay, this is my mom's house in Google Earth. That's Google Earth, and then
Yeah.
this is EarthQuest. Pretty much the same. Then here's her house, like on Street View. The Street View is at like 8K. Okay, this is Google Earth, Mount Rushmore, and then
Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
here's EarthQuest, Mount Rushmore. I mean,
Okay.
here again is the mound of Earth that I live in, and then I think the first one was Google Earth, and the second one was EarthQuest. Here's my mom's house where I grew up, and then there's the Earth. That was Google Earth. This is EarthQuest. So
Yeah, it looks very similar. Maybe some of the main, because I think there are some sections which have been. You would expect them to put a bit more effort into these landmarks, I guess, but
yeah, you would. Yeah. So, and it was only like $7. It was on sale, but maybe full price is only maybe it's $9.99. I don't know. I was
yeah,
impressed. So
good.
guess that's it.
Yeah,
Upcoming games. So we learned about on that VR game showcase, Postal 2 VR is coming out. And wait,
yeah.
isn't that part of your company?
Yeah, it's a flat to VR Studios game. Team B for making it.
I have never played a Postal game. Have you already played this?
No, I've not actually. I never really knew much about the Postal games, so I'm definitely interested to see what it's all about.
Yeah. I'll fast forward through this. I guess you just
What
killed
did you think to the trailer?
I haven't actually watched much of it, to be honest with you. Like I think
Oh,
like the day that the VR game showcase came out, I think something was going on at work and I couldn't pay much attention, and I don't know, I didn't get to watch everything fully.
right. I
Um
mean, the trailer is more like just an announcement that exists, so
yeah.
it's not in VR. But I thought it was really well done. Like it was quite funny the way that they did it.
I guess I'd have to hear the audio. Oh, and I remember this part where he gets a shovel.
Yeah,
Eric Masher.
yeah. We created some gifs from this video that we use within like internal discords and stuff. It's quite
Really?
funny.
Oh, so he gets the shovel when he's pissed off at one of you guys, type
Yeah,
of thing. Like get back to work type
there's
of
more
shit.
there's the one where when he opens his eyes really wide, with the
Oh yeah.
Funko, like just that clip with him just like really opening his eyes wide is really funny.
I think I was at work and I was watching it like maybe without audio, so maybe I need the audio.
You definitely need the audio, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Then, and there's no release date on that. Surviving Mars Pioneer. I don't know anything about this. Do you?
I
But
don't know
this,
much about it. Yeah.
Like, it was on the VR Game Showcase, but this is not part of Flat VR. I think this is a Flat to VR Studios game.
We are helping develop. Yeah,
Okay.
it's. So I think I should really know more about this game, but I've only just started. Kind of like I'm just transferring over to do some work and testing on this game, so I'll know
Okay.
more about it soon. But yeah, I believe it's based on a non-VR franchise.
Okay.
To Survive in Mars is an actual non-VR game, which is similar, but then we're basically making like a VR version, which is called Survive in Mars Pioneer. Um, it's the same sort of game, but it's just going to be more focused on making it for VR and work well in VR. It's like a base builder type. It's like a strategy base builder type thing.
That part where he's, like looks like he's crafting on a computer, that was reminding me of Subnautica, which I love. So maybe it'll be like
Yeah,
Subnautica.
I don't think it's. I mean, the game describes itself as a strategy
Mm-hmm.
to improve. It's like one of these, base building where you're like trying to
Yeah.
basically survive. You're building like this is in Mars, but it's all going to be done in VR where you're controlling things on control panels
Is
and
it,
stuff.
it?
I'm looking forward to trying it out actually.
Do you know if it's realistic Mars or if it's like aliens are in Mars type of shit?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I think it's just realistic Mars, but
No.
I
Okay.
don't think there's aliens and stuff there. I don't know. Honestly, it's not my sort of game that I would play myself. To be honest, like the
Mm-hmm.
strategy games, I'm curious to see what they've done with the VR version because obviously looks like they've done a lot to make sure that the hand interaction and everything's really good, and it's a game that I think could be really fun in VR. Like, there's a lot of stuff like in the trailer where you can see where you're literally like driving a buggy around and you're using computer screens and you're manually mining for minerals. So it's not like a traditional game where you like the non VR games like with like a top down view where you've got like a city that you're building. This is more like a hands on version where you're kind of like doing the work yourself, which could make it more interesting.
Okay, another one from the VR game showcase was Exoshock. I don't know. V-Real Games. I don't know anything about this. I thought the art
No,
style
I don't.
was kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, I did see this. I thought it looked something about it. Actually, I thought the gunplay looked quite interesting. Like they've added a lot of like camera shake or something to the video.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what it is. But it just the like gunplay looked kind of visceral and kind of decent.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in trying it out and seeing what it's like. But yeah, I remember watching this one and thinking, actually, this looks pretty decent.
Yeah. And let me see. I'll go forward in the trailer. It's Quest and Steam VR. Okay. Titan Isles was another one announced by SciTech Games on that VR game showcase, and it looks to me like Windlands, but to me with a worse art style. Like, it doesn't look as colorful. Just kind
Yeah,
of, just
it
kind
does
of
look
like,
like Windlands. But yeah, like I
yeah,
said, just not more muted colours, which is not always the best thing. But it looks very similar. Like you've got bow and arrow. I think you've got some other weapons and stuff. It seems to be much more heavily focused on combat. Um, you're doing a lot more fighting rather than exploring, and because obviously the Windland games, a lot of it is just getting through the level
yeah.
with some combat, whereas this looks more like it's more about combat with you being able to swing around and
And
move around like that.
I think one guy
It's still got
has
co-op.
one guy is the Spider-Man type guy, and then one guy has a jetpack, and then other people have different abilities. Like one
Yeah,
guy,
I mean, I love Windlands, so I'm definitely interested in it. And
yeah,
it's co-op, four-player co-op, so
yeah,
it's definitely something I'm going to be interested in playing.
yeah.
Um, see.
All right. Then another one was Forefront, which is you know, a multiplayer shooter, kind of like War Dust.
amazing or anything. You can tell that it's been built for the Quest. But but I thought Breaches was really good fun, really well made. So it gives me hope that this could actually be decent. Like being in like a big open environment, to drive different vehicles around and like being. I loved Battlefield games when I used to play like flat games. Battlefield is my favorite series because of the teamwork that's involved. You can like squad up. Battlefield, you'll have like squads of 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you die, but one of your squad's still alive, you can spawn back in with your squad. So you're not like just spawning back at a respawn point. So you can really work together, and like there's objective based game modes and stuff. I used to really enjoy that with Battlefield. So hopefully they've taken that. Everything looks very similar. Like you're in tanks, you can repair things. Like they do like a big overview shot of like these multiple islands and stuff. It genuinely looks really good. Like obviously visually not as good as I'd like it to be, but I think as long as the gameplay is solid, it could still be a really fun game to play. Um, this studio have got obviously a lot of pedigree in terms of they've made games already like this, and they've got a good track record of making good quality games that people like. So
Yeah, at the very beginning of that trailer, the trailer audio was playing, but I muted it in time, so we're good.
what did you? Oh,
Yeah, I
good
muted it
catch.
in time. Okay, next game is Memoriam. This is that game by where VR Oasis Mike is involved, and it's Quest only,
Now I
and
think yeah.
and it's like what, sort of like Dead Space, sort of like Alien, sort of like System Shock or something.
Yeah, I think a lot of their inspiration was Dead Space. I'm on the fence on this. I've seen a bit of footage of it. It looks interesting. Like it looks like they've done. It looks decent. Like definitely, but it's hard to. It's one of those games that looks hard to see the footage what it's going to be like. Like it's really going to live and die on the level design and the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Propagation Paraga. I remember Propagation Paradise Hotel. Watching the trailer of that and thinking it just like didn't look very interesting to me. I wasn't really that bothered about it. But then actually, it was a really good game because of the level design and the way that they handled the zombies, and so it could be a really good game. It's one of those that I think it's really hard to tell just from looking at a bit of footage.
Okay. Let me look back at that thing, the upcoming stuff. We covered all of those. Then going to, we still don't know when that's coming out. I thought it was going to come out by now. That would have given me something to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Civilization 7 is coming out in April 10th, and
close.
there is a new gameplay trailer for it now, but I don't have it. Then Ghost
You
Town is
interested in that?
no why it's $60.
$60.
$60 and it's on Quest only. Yep,
Wow,
it's
that's
insane.
expensive.
Yeah, the PC game is 70, so they said let's take off 10 for the mobile version.
Okay.
Uh, so Ghost Town is coming out April 24th. I have Quest here, so maybe it's only coming out to Quest first. Maybe.
Is it? I thought it was coming to Steam. There's a Steam
Well,
page and
well,
everything.
I mean, first. I think
Oh
it's
right.
coming to, and there's a new. Um, my headset battery is low. That's not good. Let me put a battery in this thing. Make sure.
Yeah, this is that game by the Room developers.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope it does well because I really like these developers and they've clearly put a lot of time and passion into this VR game. So it would be a shame for them to like sink all this money and time into this game and then it doesn't sell well. They're very like these developers are like top quality developers. The Room series is excellent, and the VR version is really good as well. So I'm really interested to see what they've been working on all this time. It looks really interesting. I don't know if is it like a straight puzzler or is it more open. It says it's a single player VR puzzle adventure, so it's definitely
I heard that. Yeah,
Uh,
there's no free locomotion. I heard that from somebody.
it's not. Oh, interesting. I think it shows someone walking, like in the trailer. You
Yeah,
can just see
yeah,
someone walking forward with a
yeah.
flashlight
So maybe that
multiple
person was
times.
wrong. Maybe that person was wrong. Because yeah,
No, it definitely looks.
it clearly looks like it. I was
Yeah,
busy messing with my battery and all this crap.
yeah. There's multiple clips of people walking forwards in the trailer, so I
Yeah,
don't think that's true.
yeah. Uh, yeah. It's coming out all
It does
platforms, but
show on the.
yeah, I did
Yeah.
read though Quest first. I don't know. Maybe I read that on Upload VR.
Yeah.
I'll
Fine.
I'll go to Steam
It
and
doesn't say release
yeah,
date.
it
Have a
just says
look.
coming soon on Steam.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we'll just play it when it comes out. It's definitely. I'm really looking forward to it though. One of my
And
top anticipated games this year.
yeah, let's see. Vertigo 2 into the Aether. They changed the release date to April 25th. And then the Midnight Walk
Okay.
is May 8th on PlayStation and PC. And so Out of Sight VR, that's another flat to VR game. That's May
Yep.
22nd, May 22nd on PC. The Steam page doesn't have a release date, but I saw May 22nd somewhere else. Like maybe it was Upload
Yeah,
VR.
it was. It has been officially announced. Yeah, so it's coming out May 22nd. I think it's coming out into early access. I need to check on that. Or is it? No, it might not be early access. I think it's the Pioneer one. The Surviving Mars Pioneers coming out into early access. Um, but yeah, this looks really cool. This is another one that I'm literally just about to start doing some testing on. So I haven't played it yet myself, but I will be doing like next week. So
Yeah, it looks a lot like Little Nightmares.
yeah, yeah, it's it's got that vibe to it, which
Hmm.
is cool because I love Little Nightmares. So.
Which flat to VR games have you played that we haven't? I guess the only one we've played is Trombone Champ. But which ones have you played? Are you allowed to say?
I mean, I can talk about. I can't talk about them
No,
in
I
terms
don't
of
mean
like.
talk about your feelings. I just mean which you've played.
I mean, I've
RoboQuest, you've
RoboQuest.
played. Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of RoboQuest, which
Okay.
is really good. You'll like RoboQuest.
Okay. Oh, I thought you weren't allowed to say.
I mean, RoboQuest is a good game. Like
Okay.
on not like if you look on Steam, it's like overwhelmingly positive reviews on the non-VR version.
Yeah.
The VR
Okay.
game is literally the same game just in VR, so
Okay.
it's a
Any
banger.
anything else?
I've been playing Skyrunner, which is actually it used to be called Bomber Drone, which I think you've played.
Yeah, I have that.
It's a mixed reality thing, which is currently in development. Like they're building out a full fleshed like campaign mode with multiple levels and different things to do and stuff. I've been playing a lot of that, a lot
Okay.
of play testing for that.
I haven't played Bomber Drone since they renamed it. So I don't even I have no idea what they added. Or
They've not added. There's not a lot of extra stuff in there. I would personally just wait for the big update when they do like the official kind of like early access full release type thing because stuff that they've released already is just more like tech demos showing what's been worked on rather than a fully fleshed out content.
why'd they call
But
it
it's get
Skyrunner? Sorry.
um it was just they didn't want. I think they wanted to get away from the like you've got bomber drone. It just sounds a bit insensitive with a lot
Oh.
of shit's going on with like in
Oh.
Ukraine and stuff. So I think
Okay.
they just wanted to get away from that name. Skyrunner just seemed like a cool name for a drone game where you're flying around.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, then let's see here. Oh, the only other one on this list, I think we've covered all of these so far except for the last one. Zombie Army VR is coming out May 22nd on all platforms and there's a new release date trailer.
Yep.
and hope
People
I
say that the non VR version is really good apparently.
okay.
And this is obviously co-op as well. So I'm interested in it, but from what I heard, like people played the Gamescom demo and said it was really bad,
Yeah.
which is why it got delayed. So
Was it supposed to come out like late last year?
yeah,
Okay.
well apparently just like influencers and people were trying it out at Gamescom and said, "Wow, this thing needs a lot of work."
Yeah.
And it's obviously the same. I think is it the same developers as Sniper Elite from
Yeah.
VR?
Yeah. Rebellion?
Yeah.
Is that the same developer?
Rebellion is the studio. I think it's the same. The publisher. I think it's the same studio that made it.
Okay.
Uh, and I personally didn't think that Sniper Elite was very good in VR. I didn't think they did it. They did a great job with that,
Hmm.
personally. So
Yeah. I made it all
just
the
for
way through
co-op.
that, but like I
Yeah, I know you did.
remember I kind of struggled. I struggled getting through that.
I just didn't think the level design was very good. Like the original Sniper Elite games, like the like non VR games,
Hmm.
like they're set in like almost like these bigger, quite because obviously you're a sniper, so the whole idea is that you're shooting people from really far away,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of stealth involved where you kind of like you're in these open areas, you can go where you want to go. You kind of like sniping and like trying to move to a different location, try not to get spotted, picking people off. And then the VR version came in, and it was like this really ultra linear, almost like an action game with a bit of sniping in it. But the snipe, it was just yeah, and the controls were really bad, which they did improve over time, but got a lot of basic stuff wrong with the gun handling, and yeah, I just didn't enjoy that game.
Yeah, and I got Winter Warrior on Quest 3. I played it once, and it felt identical, like no changes at all. And I think I lost interest.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, what? Why? I mean, people. I feel like most people are saying the same things about the game.
Yeah.
So why did they not improve it for the sequel? And then why have they not? It sounds like they've not really improved it for this game. So it's like, what are they just not listening to people's feedback? I don't really fully understand what's going on there.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see.
Anything?
It's coming out soon. I mean, it's co-op, so
Mhm. Yeah.
we'll play it.
Anything else you can think of?
No, that's all. I mean, that to be honest, like that's pretty decent
Yeah.
considering that at the beginning of the year we were like, we have no idea what's coming out. There seems to be nothing on the horizon. Like months, obviously this month there's a couple of things, but like May's pretty decent, I'd say. Like we've got the Midnight Walk, which looks really good. Out of Sight VR obviously is going to be excellent, and Zombie Army VR, which could be good, but it's at least a decent big IP that's coming out
Hmm.
in May, so things to look forward to.
And then Gorn 2, maybe it's coming out in April. I don't know. Maybe it didn't get good feedback. Because like there were influencers playing Gorn 2 and stuff. So maybe they decided they needed to work on it more. I don't know.
Oh, are they playing on that? I didn't realize they had
Yeah,
access to that already.
they're influencers that like when Gorn 2 first got announced, there were influencers playing it. Like Upload VR did a video playing it, and other people, like I think
Yeah,
Beardo Benjo and those types. So
it can't be that far away then.
yeah, you wouldn't think so.
We'll see.
Yeah,
It's one that I'm I'll probably check it out because I did enjoy going, but
yeah.
I can't say I'm excited for it.
I'm more excited for that than I am Civilization 7 at $60. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, Civilization 7 is not my sort of game though. I don't like these slow paced strategy games.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
no, that's it.
Bye.
Oh, bye. See ya.